Hey everybody, it's Asia the Fumbling Farmer here, out in my garden. I just harvested my second and third yellow squash. I had harvested one yesterday and we put like olive oil and salt and pepper and Parmesan cheese on it and roasted it in the oven till it got all nice and crispy, the cheese on top. And then I put some thyme for my garden in it. It was delicious. So yeah, my squash are coming along. But anyway, I was here also tying up my squash plants and I was like, oh, I should make a video of what I'm working on. So let me put my harvest down and then I'm going to, okay, hold on, I got it. Okay, so here we go. I harvested those squash off of this plant here, and so now what I'm doing is I took this plant and I'm tying it up this pole here because zucchini and squash plants spread out all over the place, and so by making it grow up you can kind of get a lot more in a lot less space. All right, so I also did it to this. Oh, these leaves are like crazy, y'all. Let me see. So this one is also tied up. Let me get this sign. It's tied up along the pole there. And then the new growth is coming in at the top. So you can see that. It'll keep growing up here. No, baby, I got it, okay. Wants to help me out, but what I'm going to end up doing is giving her some Sluggo to go sprinkle in her garden because it's a mess. But once we get over there. But just give me a moment, okay?
I want to have the phone.
Okay, I also have back here an eggplant. It's called like a fairy tale eggplant. Yep. And it has a flower on it. It flowers a little bit older and it has a lot more little flower pods growing there. The leaves are so soft I can't even deal with it. So we'll see. I keep getting these red bugs on it. It's a squashed one right now. Here's another one that I squashed. These red bugs on them, and I just come through and I kind of squash them. I don't want to use too much stuff. Alright, for my little perch over here, this is my dwarf tomato plant. You can see it has some flowers there and some more flowers there. This is supposed to be yellow cherry tomatoes. Alright, my right here I have, oh, I got you, Sucker. Okay. Alright, one of those little red bugs on these plants again. I see another one over there. Alright, these are my potatoes. They're like limping along, so I'm just kind of letting them do their thing and not mess with them. One of the hardest thing, like I squash the bugs on them, but other than that, I let them be. Alright, I squashed that bug. See it in there? Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I'll pick up my sign. This was like really hard to video and find. Oh, there it is. But it's not focusing. There, I squashed that bug on there. Okay, these ones are looking pretty good, but knock on wood, alhamdulillah. So anyway, my potato plants are struggling, so we'll see what happens with them, and I'll have to figure it out next year. I'll dig them up and figure it out. Maybe I can do a second crop sometime. Alright, these are my chives in here. I used them in a recipe the other day. They were delicious. What recipe was it? And here's some more thyme. I like to let this just flower because like the little pollinators like it. My peppers are struggling still, some of them. But I mean, I guess they're okay. This is basil here, but this is one of my OG peppers that I did from seed. But even the ones from here, it's just not hot enough right now. I think yesterday, the last 2 days were nice and hot. But here's a candy cane pepper growing, and I planted that a little later, and I think the pepper plants that I planted a little later are doing a little better. Here's why it's called a candy cane pepper, because it gets like these little cute little stripes on them. Here's another one of those red bugs. That's how I come out every morning and I just check for bugs, and that's kind of my pest control, is me and my squishy fingers. Just check through everything. Okay, oh, another red bug. Let's see, squash. Okay, that one's good. You just walk around several times and just check. Okay, where are we at now? This is mint. Oh, my strawberries over here, they have flowered, and my sweet little violas are just flowering away. but they flowered and made fruit, so I'm going to put a little baggie over them soon, let them get a little bit bigger. Just try to keep the animals from getting them. But I'm curious if, because these ones are growing kind of up higher, I don't know if the chipmunks could get those. The slugs definitely aren't climbing up on that yet. So maybe I'll just leave it. Alright, over here we have lettuce. So lots of lettuce. I can come out here and harvest anytime. Spinach is growing here. I made a quiche the other day with spinach in it. This is my cilantro. It's starting to go to seed a little bit. And yesterday was a little bit warm with it. When it starts to get like these, I don't know if you can see, but these kind of leaves there, it usually means seeds are going to happen soon. But there's more lettuce and more spinach and actually more chives here too. There's a little bit of dill struggling for its life over here. I think I'm gonna, where is it? There, I'm gonna replant dill, and maybe I'll do dill in a pot. Now these cones are here because I randomly plant stuff. Sometimes there's not really a plan. There's just planting. So I put some pineapple ground cherries. I discovered them like 2 years ago, 3 years ago maybe, at Home Depot. They had plants and I was like, oh, let me try this. And I tried them and man, they're delicious. They're like, you know how tomatillos grow in those little like lantern looking things, paper lantern looking things? They grow like that too, except for they're tiny and the plants grow really low and they turn yellow and they fall off and they're so good. They're like sweet and tart, like pineapple and sweetness kind of, and yeah, but it's really good. Anyway, so I couldn't find any and I keep looking on Home Depot and I keep going to the store to check for them. I couldn't find any, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna grow them myself. So I found a seed company that had pineapple ground cherries, so that's what I planted in those 3 places, because eventually the lettuce is gonna have to come up. It's gonna get too hot, it's gonna go to seed, and then I'm gonna have to wait until the fall to grow more spinach and lettuce. So that's gonna have to come up, so I thought this would be a good space for my pineapple ground cherries. So we'll see, fingers crossed. I also have backup ones. This is my thyme, I think. So that's growing along nicely. Well, my plan is to let it grow up and I kind of want it to spill over the edge here so it looks really pretty and then it can flower and everything. These are my random zucchini. Random plants are plants that weren't supposed to be planted in this bed, but because I ran out of space someplace else, then they end up planted in the bed. This is my radish and I was excited this morning to come out here. Let's see. And you can see like a little head forming down there. So that might be something growing. Like some of them are just, this one has a little thickness coming in down there too. But some of them you see they're just thin like this. So it doesn't look like there's anything forming there yet. But I might get a couple radishes out of this harvest. I wasn't sure. You can also eat the greens, people say, but I haven't tried that yet. And then these ones have been growing for so long, they're probably like tough and stuff now. But when they're kind of smaller and younger, you could eat the greens like lettuce. There's my carrots. They look much better than they did the first time. This row still needs to fill out some, but I think I'm gonna have to harvest the radishes for them to really get into it. There's my strawberry patch right here. And I put the strawberries into these bags and I'm actually getting strawberries now. The chipmunks can't get in there, the slugs don't really get in there, so I am excited about that. This right here is my bee balm. It's my first year growing it, so we'll see what happens. It's supposed to attract pollinators, and I think it's also good for some kind of medicinal use too. Alright, so here's my yellow squash patch from another vantage point. This one is in there. I come out every morning and pollinate also. Like this morning I came out here and I pollinated this young lady right here. I took one of the male plants from over there. Oh, it's right there on the ground. Discarded, messed up. And then I pollinated this one. So hopefully it will start to grow. And my my red cabbage is here. It's getting good. It's got a pretty, ooh, look at that caterpillar in there. Y'all see that caterpillar? All right, I gotta come back in. See it in there? I have to come back in and I'm gonna scoop it out of there and get at it. This one's also coming to a head in here. This one got more tore up than the other one with caterpillars, but I think I still should be able to do it. Y'all, gardening is so gross because look at all that caterpillar poop in there. That's so gross. Okay, In here I have a cosmos, and I have cilantro, and I have a calendula. This is kind of a random flower patch too. Okay, this right here keeps making male flowers. It hasn't done any female yet. See the little pointy middle there? That's the male flower. Let me show you the female flower again. Female flower has more of that looking thing, okay? But this is, and this is like a different, this is like a, what is this? Who are you? This is a cocozelle squash. So it's the only one I have of this type in here. So I kind of got to wait until it's ready. Okay. And then these are all zucchinis in here. And my zucchinis aren't really doing too much yet. There's one over here. It was a female flower, but I didn't have any male flowers to pollinate with. And that cocozelle and the zucchini are two different flowers, so I didn't want to like deliberately, I mean they might get pollinated by the bugs anyway, but I didn't want to deliberately cross-pollinate because I don't know what I'll come up with. So that's that. Okay, then my crazy tomatoes. Here's all my tomato plants in here. They are starting to have little buds on them. I don't know if you can see that. There they are, little flower buds coming up on a lot of them. These are my marigolds right here. So happy with my marigolds. There's more flower buds there. So they're doing their thing. This one is nice and tall, growing some flower buds. I'm noticing some yellowing on this leaf right here. I don't know what that's about. So let me check underneath for bugs. Sometimes if the leaves are like, hey, something's happening to me. Oh look, and these are getting all yellowy up here too. These ones right here. Alright, I might try to... Are there any bugs going on down here? It doesn't look like there's any bugs. I have some spray for fungus, like a fungicide kind of thing, that I'll try to come out here and spray that with. But if push comes to shove, I'm gonna pull the sucker up and we plant something else there. I can put some flowers in because I did want to get some more marigolds in. But what we're not gonna do is let some fungusy plant infect everybody else. All right, this right here is the one, it's a sun sugar yellow cherry hybrid tomato. Tons of little yellow things in here. And this one I planted kind of in the back. And it's a little tiny baby, and I wish I had planted it closer. Because like it's this tall and everything else is this tall. And so it kind of blocks its sunlight. Okay. Here we have my, remember I was really excited about my Kajari melons, and then I just couldn't get it to grow. So here's something growing so far. I'm hoping it kind of grows up more. I actually have to do something. I know what I have to do. I'm going to do it right now before I forget. So what I'm going to do is I just have this random like little fencing screen stuff here. And I want to, let's turn at me so close. I want to, actually, I'm not going to do this while I'm trying to hold the phone because I'm going to mess something up. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm take this fencing here and I'm going to put it close here so that it has something in between. There's a lot of space for it to try to make up. So I'll try to cover it. But I have more in here. This one's coming along. Once I get that fencing stuff in, I think that one will be good to just let it do its thing. This one's coming along too. And then I went and replanted the fourth one here. And it looks like it's doing okay. But these little cloches have really been super helpful in kind of protecting against, I don't know if it's against overwatering or against slugs or what it's protecting against, but it done protected it. So alhamdulillah, those are growing. Here's kind of a nice sizable strawberry. It's not turning, I already harvested strawberries this morning, so there's nothing exciting and red to show you, but here's a nice one that's getting ready soon. All right, and that brings us to our cucumbers. All right, so here's my cucumber babies. They're struggling because they have like slugs and stuff eating them here, but they're still growing along, and so I'm just encouraging them along. All right, so I have this guy coming up. I love these little things because they just kind of grow up and they're like, find me a friend, I need a friend. And then they like attach on and they're like best friends. And they're like, never gonna give you up. Yep. Okay, and then I planted some more seeds in here in between the cucumbers. So these will grow up, and then as they get older, then I could pull these up and the new seeds will be there. I planted some spaghetti spaghetti squash in here. I'm just gonna let it grow crazy and probably over the edge. But I did put the little cloche on them too to protect them when I planted them, and it helped. And I got some borage there in the middle, and then more cucumbers growing up the other side. I think I actually, well, let me wait until I get over there. So here's another little cucumber seed I planted. All right, here is my acorns. So with the acorn squash, I don't know if you remember me wondering in a previous video if they were actually vining or if I would have to help them. But they are. They have these little tendrils on them, and that lets me know that they are actually vining plants. So they'll wrap up this trellis here and kind of grow themselves. I have to, this buddy right here, he's kind of going out and in, so I'm gonna try to help him along gently, but I can't do it while I'm videoing because I'm afraid I'll break the plant. I have to be more gentle. And that one's growing up fine. Random tomatoes growing up fine in there. And then here we have our hot peppers. The hot peppers are a mixture of good and bad. Like this dude right here is looking kind of like that tomato plant looked, having some stuff going on it. But then this dude right here is growing out 2 stems from the top, got a little flower bud on it right there. So these are kind of like life right now. Some of them are struggling, but they're gonna be okay. Some of them, not looking great, and I'm gonna pull up these and replace it with something pretty. I'll probably put some flowers in there or something like that. But there's pepper plants growing all over. This buddy right here growing with his friend. So that's cool. This is my Italian parsley. The cool thing about Italian parsley, oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. Y'all see that right there? You know what that is? That is a ladybug larvae. Okay, buddy, be safe. And we try to take care of them and let them be happy, okay? But I was gonna say the cool thing about this Italian parsley and a lot of my herbs is that are really attracted to them. So like those red bugs I was squashing before, they like my herbs. So I can go to my herb plant first and like take out a lot of the bad bugs. But apparently all set buddy went, but yeah. So that's that. So these are more pepper plants growing here. You know what this is right here? Oh, here's another one. This is where my friend the chipmunk lives that I saved from impending doom from the strawberry netting. And he just comes and hops out and frolics in my garden. He can't get in the, I think he's trying to learn how to get in the tomato netting, but he's not there yet. Okay, so here we had a little baby cucumber. I think it didn't get pollinated though, because you see I was turning yellowish at the ends there. So I think it did not get pollinated yet, which is okay. This plant is still growing. Oh, look at this beautiful guy. I think I might try to pollinate this guy here. So this is a lady cucumber plant. Let's see if so it has like the cucumber part at the bottom there. Let me show you a male cucumber flower. I said plant, I meant flower. Here's the male cucumber flower. You notice at the bottom it's just a regular stem, right? So I'm going to try to pick the male flower off and pollinate the female flower. But again, I'll do that when I'm not trying to film. Okay? All right. And even you see here like the kind of yellowing to the leaves. So I'll probably spray this with some kind of fungicide just to, is it fungicide or fungicide? It's a soft G. Let me, my soft G comes at E-I or Y, like in gymnasium. So fungicide, it's fungicide. Okay, there we go. Phonics helps you in life. That's what I'm going to tell my students, so you don't sound crazy in your YouTube videos. But I think I sound crazy, but that's fine. Anyway, let's keep going. To show you, this is kind of cool. This tomato plant here and those tomato plants were grown from the same seeds at the same time, but I just plopped this in here because I didn't have an extra space and I felt bad for the plant, but I didn't put any fertilizer. It's old dirt, it's just planted in there, right? And so it's just crazy about the soil that you're planted in, like, makes such a difference, because we have those big whopping strong guys and then you have this itty bitty guy struggling over here. So it's just kind of crazy how that works out. Okay, this is my rosemary. Oh, see? Red bug. Oh, come here, baby. You ain't getting nowhere. Okay, so every time I come out onto my herbs, I find some red bugs, which is good. They go to the herbs and they stay away from mine. Oh, look at this cute, cool guy. I don't know what he is. What are you, cool guy? That's kind of a cool looking guy. I don't know what he is. I have to try to, I'll screenshot this video Is that a praying mantis? Yeah, I think it is. Oh my goodness, I'm in love. Those are my favorite insects. Oh, it's a little baby praying mantis. I'm gonna cry. Those are like my favorite bugs in the world. I love them so much. I just think they're so cool looking. I like how gangster they are because like the female eats the male's head off after they've done their thing. And they eat bugs like crazy, and they make these cool little, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. That like made my day, you guys. We can all go home now. Okay, bye. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'll finish the tour up, but I'm really happy. Yay! Okay, here we go. Calendula flowers. You can snip these flowers off like this and dry the petals and put them in teas and stuff like that. And they're supposed to be good for something. I have to read what they're good for, but I see another red bug. Do I? Nope, I already squashed that one. Sometimes, oh, nope, I do see another one. Come here. Come here, sucker. Oh, you're fast. Where'd you go? You still living? Okay, now you're no longer living because you're squashed on my finger. I know that's really gross, y'all, but it's the only way to deal with them without using all kinds of like, here's another cool guy. Oh, you don't want a cool guy. I don't know what you are. I guess I'll find out. You kind of look ant-like. Hopefully you're not like termitey. The Terminix guy came out yesterday and checked for termites, so hopefully. Anyway, let's keep going because it's going to be like a forever video. Okay, here's my corn. Look how good that's looking. Alhamdulillah. So my corn's growing. It's getting there. My beans are growing. There's like flowers all over the place on them. We pull them back. There's just flowers for days. Like, look at that. So that's cool. The red bugs have been over here too. Here's a squashed one. But you just get out here and try to manage them as best as you can. There's another cool looking bug there. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that praying mantis still. Alright, here's my peas. I was worried about my peas because I was like, I ain't gonna get nothing because these little things were looking all shriveled up like that. And stuff is nibbling on it there. But, look. Ta-da! Peas. So, I might be able to get some peas that I can mix in and make like rice and peas out of or something. Here's Anisa's garden. Her lamb's ear is blooming. Oh, here's a red bug. Hey, buddy. Okay. Those are those. These are, I'm going to cut these bushes back, but I have to do it without telling her. Because she likes them. But actually, no, I'm going to tell her because they're getting all like fungusy and stuff looking, and I don't want them to mess up her whole garden. But her garden's looking good. Alright, and then here's Anisa Nylazinnias, and they have little buds at the top of them there, so they should be starting to get ready to flower soon. And we had a trellis mishap, so only one morning glory made it. Even that isn't all the way making it, it's still struggling, but we planted some morning glories below. So here's her new morning glories, but she is right, something is tearing up her garden and we gotta get some, I think it is slugs, so I'm gonna get some sluggo and put it in there. Alright, and that takes us to outside here. Oh, look at that red bug. Oh, that dog scared me. I probably scared him too. Alright, got that red bug going there. Okay, so that's the borage right here. And I think the red bugs have discovered the borage, which is okay. It's not, I was growing it for flowers, really, not to eat. And this is my watermelon growing here. I think I'm going to have to get out here and spray it with some fungicide too, because it's kind of looking a little, some of them are looking a little funky. And maybe put some sluggo in here as well. It's like this constant battle. So that's growing along there. And then I'll just, since I'm out here, here's my roses. I think this winter I'm going to try to cut up the roses though. And cut them down because they're all, they just get eaten up, and this like yellowing on the leaves is actually a fungus that it's not supposed to be doing. But everything in here has little buds. These are dahlias. These are, I don't know what. I think they might be echinacea actually. But they're huge. They're like up to my chest. The lamb's ear, it's so soft, y'all. It just makes me so happy. I have a pair of pajamas that feel like this, and they make me really happy. These are alliums, which are like in the onion family, but they make little little bulbs. And then those are black-eyed Susans. These are my faves. Let's have a conversation with the Snapdragon. Hello. Hello. How are you? I'm okay. How are you? I'm great. I hope you have a good day today. I love them. Alright. There's this thing going on. My lilies are getting ready to bloom. The impatiens. I love these impatiens. The dark leaves and those flowers are so pretty. Alright. So my hostas are blooming. Over here, more of these. The kids next door are out in the bouncy house. They had a birthday party last week. The gigantic hostas. Those blooming there. Here's my hostas blooming again. These hostas are also going to be blooming soon. Here's their little flower sprouts. Here. That's the hydrangeas back there. And then all kinds of like flowers that I don't really know what they are. This is lavender, smells really good. That's another rosemary plant there. And then that's another hydrangea over here. I know a lot of people like the blue ones, and I was kind of hoping for blue ones, but then they turned into this vibrant purpley pink color, and I know that also means that I don't have like the right pH in my soil for them, but it kind of makes me happy. If it makes you happy. So I'm just gonna leave it. And last year all these plants fell over because they were so tall. So this year I got this thing here. This. And so like these plants are hooked on to some kind of support before they start blooming, because the flowers come on and then they tip over because they're too heavy. Oh, and those two tall ones are my sunflowers. Okay, so I'm going to go back and get my yellow squash out the garden because I think I still left them out there. And I hope you enjoyed my garden tour and that you see that like we're fumbling through it, but we kind of have successes along with our failures. Like, yes, there's these bugs everywhere. Yes, some plants have like those yellowing leaves turning on. And I know like millions of other things. Yes, slugs are everywhere eating everything. And there's going to be like millions of other things that are popping up. But I think it's going to be okay, y'all. I think it's going to be okay. I think we could do this. All right? Okay. So, picking up my squash. Okay. It's going to be okay. All right. Anyway, happy gardening, y'all. Until next time.